Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good week of trading. Good day on Friday. Friday, I did make a little trade on one of my stocks, doing a little cost averaging on that one. And we'll talk about that as we look at our portfolio. But again, still trying to kind of lay low for the rest of the year, trying to hang on to these gains that we had for the year. Had a really good year. We're beating all the markets, beating the banks. So we're going to try to stay there. 74% cash right now. So lots of cash on the sideline, trying to stay out of danger. But did want to do a little cost averaging on the stock Friday, and we did that. So we'll talk about that as we look at the portfolio here. But hope you had a really good day. If you've been following my trade, you know that we've been pocketing a lot of money this year, making those quick trades as quick as possible. We've seen some of them keep running even after we've done that. That's just something you have to live with when you sell a stock. This is all relative. It's all a point of time. Talked about that in one of my previous videos, that even though a stock may look like it's running and leaving you in its dust, a lot of times you come back a year or so later and that stock's back lower than where you sold. So if you're a buy and hold person, that's good for you, but that's not the way I do it. I'm retired, so I got a goal of 6%. And so if we're making 3% in a week, we're probably going to take that kind of money a lot of times. So just go check out the strategy videos if you haven't yet. I got a couple on the strategies, and kind of gives you an idea of the way I look at things when I'm trading as a retired person. But it just all boils down to your risk levels and your risk tolerance and those kind of things. But let's take a look at our portfolio, see where we're at, see what happened Friday, and then we'll take a peek at the markets as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at that portfolio. So let's go ahead and look at that now. All right, so here's our portfolio. As you can see here, looks like a pretty red day on Friday. So we were down on pretty much everything there. But did get to squeeze out a little bit of green on one, just barely. But if you look at the charts, we were green on some of them part of the day, but nothing to speak of, though. But let's take look at this first one here, TLRY. Now, TLRY is one that I did go ahead and purchase some more shares on, just cost averaging that one a little bit. It's one of our cannabis stocks, and they have been doing pretty good the last month or so. So I wanted to go ahead and cost average this one. I have cost averaged the ACB, so I didn't want to get left on that one. So let's take a look at that 5-day chart. As you can see, TLRY did announce a merger here, and so it did get a good bounce in the middle of the week, and then it did settle the rest of the week here. So it actually dropped off a little bit on Friday, so we went ahead and did a little cost averaging there. The volume on Friday, not quite the normal volume, but still pretty good volume, 13 million shares traded. So one thing I did want to do tonight is kind of look at the year-to-date, just kind of give you an idea of what these stocks have done for the year. When you look at these, you'll see a lot of them, you can tell this is maybe why I'm still holding some of them. So this one here, TLRY, it was up as high as $20, almost $21, as early as last January 13th. And see, now we're down way down here to $8.89. So, but I've had this one even longer than that, so it's even worse for me on this one. I forget what I was in at, but that's why I did some cost averaging Friday. But it's still a long ways to go for me on this one. This is probably one of the worst ones I've got as far as the cost of what I'm holding. All right, XSPA. That's one of ours that we were holding for a spike that so we can get rid of. This is one of the COVID stocks, and this is the 5-day chart. Now we did get a spike, but that was not enough spike for us to get out. And you can see here they did announce an offering the same day and lost every bit of that gain, and then it held up the rest of the week. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. Look at the volume; it's high, so Big boys are involved with this one. 11 million shares traded, average of 5 million per day. So something's going on there with this one. So we're going to keep our eye on that one. Year to date, let's take a look at year to date on this one. You can see for the year, we're actually not too far off from where the year started. We're actually a little bit lower. So you can see the COVID excitement here. That's what did all this. And so it's got a long ways to go for us. I think we're in somewhere close to $4 on this one or something like that, or 3 something. Can't remember for sure, but it's down. Pretty much everything I'm still holding are down, and that's why I'm holding them. NICL, let's take a look at that one. NICL for the 5-day chart, pretty flat for the week, not anything major going on there. And year to date, this was a little bit of a surprise. You can see we're still pretty good ways above the beginning of the year, almost 70% from the beginning of the year. So that's not terrible if you would have bought it back in here somewhere, but we didn't. So we bought it probably up in here somewhere. So we're in worse shape. Now we did trade this one once for a really good trade, and so we made some pretty good money on this one this year. We're just holding this share. The shares we bought the second time around, they're a loss right now. So we need it to come back up. This is long-term hold if need be. I believe they're going to be doing okay eventually. Look at the volume here. They used to do about 26 million. Now they're down to 8 million shares. So that's low volume. Not a lot of interest in this one right now. So we're just going to have to hold off till somebody gets excited about it again. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the next one here. HTBX, another one of the cannabis stocks. I mean, not cannabis. I'm sorry. COVID stocks. And this one here just went through a reverse split, if you recall. And so the reverse split price now is in. Did a 7-for-1. So we're going to be down on that one in good ways because of that reverse split. But had a pretty decent week. Didn't fall off too bad. A lot of times when they do the reverse split, they'll sell off. And this one held its ground pretty good. So that's a good sign there. Let's go back to that real quick and just take a look at that volume. Here's something that I don't like. I don't like to hold shares that trade less than 1 million shares per day. I like them to be over 1 million. The average is still over 1 million, but you can see this one's dropped off. Some of the excitement on that's gone for sure. All right, and let's see here. Next, NVAX. Now this is going to be one to look at here. Now, NVAX for the week. Let's see. Actually, it did have a down week. Is good of a 2-day run here as you can see, but it did have a down week overall. So we're waiting for the 107 range on that one probably before we start nibbling. 107 is where may start nibbling. It just depends. But volume's holding normal, 4 million shares. Now let's take a look at year to date. This one's going to really give you an eyeful. You can see here, this thing was a $4 stock beginning of the year, and is now $124. That's a good little run right there, and it actually got up to at one time. I think it was the high for the year is 189. Yeah, see that? So good stock to be playing this year. Now we bought and sold it several times, and I was holding some of these way back here, and sold out pretty early. Some of it in $8 and $9 range, and then bought back in and kept selling. I've traded it several times this year. Right now, holding no shares of that. No shares. None in the cash, none in the IRAs. So, but we're going to look for this level here, right in this area here. 107 looks like a good support level, possibly. That was, some resistance before, and it got through it. So we're going to be watching that. Definitely these levels here, 85. If you get lucky enough to get down there at 85 and 74, we'll be doing a little bit more than nibbling. Okay. All right. So just depending on what the timing is on that and the news. So, but that's quite a chart for year to date. XOM, Exxon Mobil. Of course, gas prices have been going up. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart here. Week for it did trim back a little bit. I noticed my gas prices has gone up a good bit, so we'll be watching that. Year to date, look where this thing was at the beginning of the last year, $70.29. So it's got a good ways to go before it even gets back up to there. But even this level here, that's 53. So that's another $11 there almost that we could possibly get to pretty quick. And that would probably put us way up on that one. This is probably the smallest loser that we've got right now. So we think that one could be out into the green here pretty soon. U.S. Steel, I did sell half of what was in my cash count. I already sold out of the IRAs and sold half of what was in the cash count. This past week, it did have another down week, as you can see here. You can see quite the drop right here, and it's fallen off a pretty good bit from that point there. Now I'm just going to show you the volume here. 23, still a lot of volume though, a lot of volume going on there, and you can see here there's a big spike of volume right here on that fall off right there. So, but I wanted to show you something. If I can find that article. Yeah, you see stuff like this. U.S. Steel doubles in price in just 6 weeks. Well, about the time they wrote that, you start seeing this kind of thing. So you got to be careful sometimes when you start seeing all these folks come out and write about how great a stock is. A lot of times that's a sign to you may want to start trimming your bets there, trimming your winnings when they really start talking about how great a stock is. They sure did put the jinx on that one. ACB, cannabis stock. Here we are with that one. It was doing really good there for a while, but this week was pretty flat. Nothing really terrible going on there. Year to date, take a look at this. This is a chart way up there at 25. So if we could ever get up to 25, this is another one that we're not down too far on anymore, I don't think. So that would be good. There's some good level right here, possibly 15. So that'd be another $6, almost. What is that? 66% gain almost from where we're at right now. That would be awesome. We'd definitely be in the green on that. So we'll just hang on. Volume's not very high. Actually sold off a little bit. I mean, the volume here is half the volume of normal. Got a good little volume spike right there. But we'll just watch this one. This is one of our cannabis stocks that we've been watching for a while. So going through a reverse split on that one too. I think we did earlier in the year. Or just, earlier in the year. All right, so that's our portfolio. As far as where we're at for the year, like I said, we've done a real good job for the year, so we're just trying to coast out a little bit here. Did a little bit of cost averaging on that TLRY. May cost average some more, just depending on how the week goes. Cash level again, 74% almost, so that's all good. But let's go ahead and take a peek and see what's going on in the markets tonight. Let's cut back over to that real quick and see if we can pull that up. I looked at it earlier and it looked like we were sitting at a little bit of red there on the futures when I looked earlier. Looks like the Congress agrees to a $900 billion COVID stimulus deal. So maybe tomorrow we might get a little pop out of that. Who knows? But right now it's just pretty flat. Looks like everything's pretty flat there. Let's take a look at Asia, see what's going on there. A little bit sell-off going on in Nikkei and Hong Kong. Shanghai is doing a little bit better. So that is not anything to get too worried about, doesn't look like. That's what we look like Friday in the market. You can see it was red across the board, just like our portfolio. So oil, let's take a look at oil. Oil prices fall amid worries over new coronavirus strain. Yeah, I heard something on the radio tonight about that. There was a new strain of this COVID-19 stuff. So, but that's just news so far. Don't know how much more, a lot about that, but did hear it on the radio. Oil down a little bit. Looks like 3% there. Still at the 47 level. That's not terrible. We were up to 49, 50, 53 here at one time, I think. So, but the gas prices have gone up, so something's definitely working in the oil favor there. So we'll just keep an eye on that. But for this week, again, I'm just going to be in kind of that coast mode. Going to be watching some of these stocks, and if I get a chance to sell another one before the year's over with, that'd be great. If not, we're just going to hang in there. Had about 3 weeks in a row now that have been down, but like I said, with all that cash on the sideline, they're not bad down weeks. Any week's a bad down week though, but nothing terrible. So, but it's a slow bleed, and before you know it, you can be down a pretty good bit. So, but we'd like to have a green week. Like to see a little Santa Claus rally here on the portfolio side at least. But what we're doing is we're just sitting here waiting for this election stuff to settle. Uh, you know, just wait till all that blows over, and then once that does, we can kind of have a better idea. But really, I'm expecting a pullback at some point in this market. So that's why I've got so much cash on the sideline. But after the election stuff settles, then I will start making some trades, putting a little bit of cash to work. Just got to find. There's plenty of stocks that you can usually go out there and find something that's dipping. I hadn't even looked at some of the stocks that I played all year, and so we'll just have to go take a deep dive into some of those, and maybe have some videos on just some of the ones I look at, and just kind of get an idea of where they're at for the last month or so, and then maybe make some decisions on maybe we'll try to trade some of those. But we'll see. But I hope you have a great week of trading. Appreciate the subscribers. Got a couple of new subscribers recently, and I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that by clicking this button that's going to pop up right here in just a minute. So make sure you do that. You have a great day of trading tomorrow, and we'll talk to you later in the week. Thanks. Bye.